Hey guys, as you can see, I'm a little sweaty, a little dirty, and I just finished training for today. And one of the most important things that I do at the end of my session is work on my mobility. So I built all this strength. Hopefully, if I did things right, I built all this trust in my movement, my joint mobility, my muscular flexibility, strength, and therefore stability if we put the two together. And my intention is to ingrain this in my nervous system and my brain and really make sure that I keep this range of motion, this skill that I've worked on, this movement pattern, whatever that is. So I always end my sessions with a little bit, tiny bit mobility work. I'm gonna grab my watch here because I like to hang out in my mobilizations or activations or stretches for about 90 seconds. Last I looked, it takes about 72 seconds for the muscles to get the signal that they should probably relax, and then they send that signal to the brain, allowing the body to open up. So we're gonna go into couch stretch today, which is awesome for opening up all this musculature on the front of this quad. What we want to ensure is we stay out of the joints, and the joint. If you poke here and this is soft, this is your groin, that's good. If you push your butt too far forward, you poke here, it's hard, that's not good. That's the head of that femur pushing into the tendons and ligaments in the front of your hip. We don't want that in any joint ever, okay? Capiche? So, what we're gonna do is, if you're using a chair, that's awesome. If you're using a couch, couch stretch. If you're using a wall, that's great. You don't have to use either. You could roll up a towel and put your leg on something lower if you wanted to, or even put that foot on the floor. It's just as effective. Like I said, it's about the activation, not the stretch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up in a tabletop, ensuring we're under neutral spine, tailbone released, not booty butt, but released, not cat position. Resisting the rib cage in, so we are, rather than poking those ribs out, and shoulder blades squeezed towards the back body. We're gonna make sure our hips are in internal rotation, so if I peek back, there is nothing in between my legs. If we're here, that's externally rotated. So by internally rotating, I get those hips to neutral. From there, I get situated, foot and knee right in front of that thing that I'm gonna elevate on. I bring that foot up, ankle over the edge, so I'm not cranking into the top of my foot. If we look, this hip is still neutral. If it were not neutral, it would be something like this, and you would see my foot between my legs. So from there, I activate, pressing into the top of that block, the chair, the floor, whatever it is. I feel the quads light up, and I feel that suck my leg back into this hip rather than pushing forward into it. From there, taking a big breath, sweeping this foot forward inside of this left hand, toes in line with the fingertips, making sure that my leg here is right in front of this hip. From there, still pressing down, still working in that internal rotation, square with the front of the room. I tug this heel back, bam, you feel that situate the leg bone deep into the hip. You feel that glute light up. These toes are light because I'm pressing through this ball mount to keep this leg neutral. If I roll out, I'm externally rotated. You're already there. We can hang out here with this neutral spine, or we can inhale, shoulder blades lift, chest opens, bring our torso up to center. And then we start our timer, we hang out for 90 seconds. Breathing, taking this hip, pressing it down so that it's not hiking up in any way, staying soft here, as soft as we can be. If you feel hardness because you're pushing in that butt too much, back out of it for just a second and stay tall. It's real easy to crunch into this hip. Shoulder blades back, lifted, pull this rib cage up, and tuck those ribs in. Breathing. You can even bring your finger to the back of this neck. Make sure it's nice and soft, just under the base of your skull. If you're too low, it's hard. That's your first vertebrae poking out the back. If you pick up too high, the base of your skull runs into your finger. That's the base of your skull. So we want to find a nice neutral point here where it's soft. Typically that's looking over the horizon. Breathing. Tongue release from the top of your mouth. That releases gripping here. Fully in. Inflating those ribs all the way up to that chest. Ribs like a hot air balloon, and every exhale releases. When we release, we exhale to come forward. We slide this leg back, and then we release this guy. You shake it out, tap it on the top of that foot a little bit. And now we're gonna go turbo speed to get the other side. You guys know what to do. Setting up. Pressure. Step. Pressure again. Soft. Toes. Tug. Ground. Tailbone. And up. Hip. Boom. Because I could be up here. So I'm getting those hips level to the ground in addition to being squared with the front of the mat. Shoulder blades. Chest is open. Elbows apart broadens my back. Head up softens the back of the neck. Big inhales into the back and side ribs. All the way up. Hot air balloon. And as we exhale, tucking those guys back. Staying soft, checking it. And just breathe in here. Mobilization in the day. And release, we exhale, keeping the length in our spine, releasing the hips, hands to the floor. Planting, sweeping this guy back. Taking that leg off, tapping it out. And that's it. Hope you enjoy.